Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. As always, I'm your host, Kenneth Grunfelder, and it's great to have you guys here on this Thursday, October 24th. We have a lot to cover on the show today. Before I get into that, just want to remind you guys, as always, tip or donate, get your comments recognized. Make sure to go to the following make sure to click on the Super Chat button in the chat to help create a Super Chat of any thought or comment you may have throughout the live broadcast. I will acknowledge it. And it just makes the show more lively, more entertaining between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. We appreciate your guys' viewership each and every day, so any contribution you can make to the show means the world to us as we put out content for you guys each and every day. And also, the other way to help out the show is by going to the link at the bottom of the show segment on the ticker GSMCPodcast.net. That is GSMCPodcast.net. So, again, apologize for the technical issues to start out the show, and thankfully I caught it. Because there was, way back when I first started, I did I was halfway through my show, and then I was told that there was no audio coming out. And once I immediately started talking, I noticed that the levels were not moving. So, there was a little bit of an issue getting all set up here, but we're all good to go. So let's get into what we're going to discuss. So we're going to talk about Rams-Vikings. We'll preview that game tonight. We'll also get into talking about the Sunday night matchup between the 49ers and the Cowboys. It's a big game for both teams. In the third part of the show, we'll get into talking about the Bengals-Eagles game. Wanted to preview that. And then the final two segments, we'll take a look at the big college football matchups for this weekend, as well as the early slate of games on Sunday in the NFL, and then we'll take a look at the remaining games, the late slate, as well as taking a look at the Monday night game, because I will not be doing a show tomorrow or Monday. So let's get into the first topic, which is talking about the Rams-Vikings game. So the Rams are coming in at 2-4 on the season. They picked up their second win of the year against the Raiders on Sunday, and the Vikings, they are coming off of a loss, their first loss of the season against the Detroit Lions. And for the Rams, they're going to be getting Cooper Kupp back, which is huge for this game. Obviously, he's been out since week 2 with the ankle sprain, but he seems to be ready to go. And it's interesting that, he's been part of trade rumors. I discussed that yesterday. But as of right now, he is a Ram. And I guess maybe it all depends on, I think, how these games go between now and the trade deadline. If the Rams lose this game, maybe they'll feel more inclined to trade Cooper Kupp, because they're also going to be getting Puka Nacua back as well. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And I thought it was very interesting that the Chiefs, they tried to get him. I thought that would have been very, very intriguing had he gone to the Chiefs. To see Cooper Kupp and Patrick Mahomes team up, that would have been something. But we did not get that. Instead, the Chiefs ended up getting DeAndre Hopkins, and Cooper Kupp for the moment is still a Ram. So to kind of go through the rankings of these two teams, so when you look at the offense, the Rams are 13th in passing yards per game, averaging 232 passing yards. And the Vikings, they're averaging 232.3. So they're 12th, the Rams are 13th. Then rushing yards per game, I would have thought the Rams would have maybe been a little bit higher, but with Kyren Williams, but they're 26th. They're averaging 100.3 rushing yards per game, and the Vikings are 17th, averaging 119.3 rushing yards per game. And then points per game, the Vikings are 6th. The Rams are 23rd. And then defensively, the Vikings defense is actually 30th, giving up an average of 287.5 passing yards per game. Rams defense is 21st, giving up an average of 227 passing yards per game. Against the run, Vikings defense is 2nd, giving up 80 yards per game. And then the Rams defense is 30th, giving up an average of 151.7 rushing yards per game. So when you take a look at that, you would think the Vikings will lean on Aaron Jones at times during the game, and he's had a good year so far for them. And then points allowed, the Vikings defense is 6th and the Rams defense is 25th, giving up an average of 25.7. Vikings defense is giving up 17.8. And Matthew Stafford on the year only has 3 touchdown passes, 3 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He has more passing yards than Sam Darnold. He has 1,392 passing yards to Sam Darnold's 1,370 passing yards. Darnold has 12 touchdowns to 5 picks. He's been solid for the Vikings this year. He's been a surprise. And both running backs are doing well this year. Kyren Williams has 8 touchdowns on the season. He has 436 rushing yards, and Aaron Jones has 443 and 2 rushing touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, he's been great. 531 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. He's probably going to have a good game tonight. And, again, getting Cooper Kupp back is huge for this game. The Rams are going to need him. And the Rams, they've been banged up this year. You know, on the offensive line, you lose Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. And, you know, they somehow are still in it. Because if we've talked about the NFC West a lot recently. You know, they're a half a game behind the Niners and the Cardinals for second place, and then they're 1.5 games back at first place against the Seahawks. And, you know, I don't think the Seahawks are going to run away with this thing. So if the Rams could pick up a win tonight, that would be huge. And then, you know, you get Puka Nacua back, I would imagine. So, and it doesn't appear like T.J. Hawkinson. I don't think he's coming back tonight. I want to take a quick look and see if there's any news on his status. Maybe he's out for at least another week. But, you know, if they were able to get him back tonight, I don't see anything. Let's see. So right now he's ruled questionable. So we'll see. Maybe he's out for at least another week. But, I mean, I've been saying, you get this guy back to go along with Jefferson and Addison. I mean, that only makes their team better. So we'll see if he does end up playing. Cashman, their linebacker for the Vikings, he's out with a toe injury. His expected return is week 9. That's a big loss on the defensive side of the ball. So the Vikings, for the most part, are coming in healthy. For the Rams, like I said, Cooper Kupp's going to be back for this game. But, you know, they're missing some offensive linemen. Maybe a lot of guys I'm seeing here expect to return as week 8. So we'll see if they get guys back. But, yeah, Puka Nacua is going to be out for at least another week. Noteboom, one of their offensive guards, his expected return is week 9. So Whittington, one of their receivers, he's out for this game. His expected return is week 9. But you're getting Cooper Kupp back. So, and, I mean, I don't know what my expectations would be for him. I mean, they're going to try. I mean, I would feel like it's going to be similar to how it was, you know, against the Lions in week 1 where, you know, Stafford's getting rid of the ball quickly to him. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Cooper Kupp has a big game. But, you know, if you remember, you go back to week 1 and, you know, their offensive line got injured and Puka Nacua got hurt. You know, Stafford was getting rid of the ball quickly, you know, to his receivers. And he's had to do that, you know, really this whole year. I mean, I haven't watched a ton of Rams games. Really the only one that I've been able to watch from start to finish was that Lions game in week 1. Because other than that, you know, I don't think the Rams haven't been on prime time. But, yeah, I mean, getting Cooper Kupp back, you know, that obviously makes this team better. And, you know, for the defense of the Rams, you know, I mean, it's still a young defense, and it's going to be tough to stop this Vikings offense. Because even though the Vikings did lose on Sunday, I mean, they still played well in that game. And we got Swerve95 in the chat. He said 4-day turnaround could be a sloppy, low-scoring game. Yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know. But I know one of my friends in one of my group chats was talking about how, you know, Cooper Kupp is back. You know, obviously Kevin O'Connell used to be with the Rams. You know, I mean, the Rams could keep it close. But I do like the Vikings to bounce back in this game here. I just think right now they're the better team, and I think they should win. And right now they're 3-point favorites. I mean, I think they win by more than that. But again, what do I know? This is just my prediction. Um, Swerve 95, what he said in the chat, that could very well happen. It's a low scoring game, but we'll see. I don't know. Right now, I just think the Vikings are the better team. I mean, had Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua not gotten hurt this year and they've been healthy this whole time, I think my opinion would be a little bit different. But because Cooper Kupp's just coming back, I mean, I don't really know what to expect from him. I mean, I expect Stafford obviously to get him the ball, but he's coming off of an injury, so and they're going to lean on Kyren Williams. It's going to be tough though, because I talked about it. Vikings run defense is very good, but I think Kyren will still find a way to have a good game. It's a quality running back, so we'll see, and we'll see what this Rams defense could do against the Vikings offense. Can they slow him down? Can they slow Justin Jefferson down? We'll see. Because Sam Darnold has been solid this year, but we have seen games where, and we saw him turn the ball over against the Lions, and also I know they beat the Jets, but Darnold didn't play well in that game. So Sam Darnold's kind of regressed back to the mean a little bit. But he's still been good. So we'll see what happens. But I think I think the Vikings win tonight. I'm gonna say they win. I'm gonna say they win 27-17. I'm gonna say that's my score prediction, which is not low scoring like Swerve 95 said in the chat, but I'm gonna go with that. Again, I just think the Vikings are the better team. Now, it is a short week. So you got to take that into account. But again, the Vikings are coming off of a loss in a game they did play well in. So they just lost to a very good team in the Lions. So I'm gonna take the Vikings here. But hope Cooper Kupp has a good game. Hope the players that I have in fantasy do well tonight. Get me on the right track. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this game. Who do you think wins? Let me know in the comments. So we are going to take our first break of the show. And then when we come back, we will discuss the 49ers-Cowboys game on Sunday. We'll talk about that. So with that being said, stick around. And we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.